The Bible and history intersect in several areas, particularly where biblical events, people, and places overlap with established historical records, archaeology, and non-biblical writings. These intersections provide insight into the historical context of the Bible, and can sometimes confirm or challenge biblical narratives. Here's an outline of the major intersections between the Bible and history. 1. Ancient civilizations and empires. Several biblical accounts are intertwined with well-documented historical empires and kingdoms. Egypt. The Bible's account of the Israelite slavery and the Exodus is set in Egypt. While there is no direct evidence of the Exodus, Egypt's historical records show that Semitic peoples lived in the region and there were periods of social unrest. Babylon. The Babylonian Empire features prominently in the Bible, particularly with the Babylonian exile of the Jewish people in the 6th century BCE. King Nebuchadnezzar II, who destroyed Jerusalem and its temple in 586 BCE, is a well-known historical figure whose reign is documented in both the Bible and Babylonian records. Persia, the Persian Empire under Cyrus the Great, plays a key role in the Bible. The Bible credits Cyrus with allowing the Jewish exiles to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the temple, a fact confirmed by the Cyrus Cylinder, an archaeological artifact. Assyria. The Assyrian Empire is mentioned extensively in the Bible, especially its invasions of Israel and Judah. Historical sources confirm the invasions of kings like Tiglath-Pileser III, Sargon II, and Sennacherib, who destroyed the northern kingdom of Israel and besieged Jerusalem. 2. Historical figures. Several biblical figures correspond to people documented in non-biblical historical sources, pharaohs of Egypt. While the Bible doesn't name the pharaoh of the Exodus, it references interactions with Egyptian rulers. Shishak, an Egyptian pharaoh mentioned in 1 Kings 14:25, is widely identified with Shoshenq I, an actual pharaoh who invaded Judah. Nebuchadnezzar II, king of Babylon, as mentioned, is both a biblical and historical figure, with accounts of his conquests aligning with Babylonian historical texts. Herod the Great. The New Testament references Herod as the ruler of Judea during Jesus' birth. Herod is a well-known historical figure whose reign is documented by both biblical and Roman sources, including the historian Josephus. Pontius Pilate. The Roman governor who presided over Jesus' trial and crucifixion is confirmed by Roman sources and archaeological evidence, including the Pilate stone, an inscription found in Caesarea. Caiaphas. The Jewish high priest who played a role in Jesus' trial is a historical figure confirmed by both the Bible and archaeological evidence. His ossuary or bone box was discovered in Jerusalem. 3. Historical events. Many key events in the Bible have historical parallels or evidence. The Babylonian exile. The deportation of Jews to Babylon after the destruction of Jerusalem in 586 BCE is well documented both in the Bible, 2 Kings, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and in Babylonian records including the Babylonian Chronicles and archaeological discoveries in Babylon. The siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, the destruction of the Second Temple by the Romans, as described in the Gospels, like Luke 21:20-24, and predicted by Jesus, is a historically verified event. It is recorded by the Jewish historian Josephus, and confirmed by Roman historians like Tacitus. The reign of King David and Solomon. The existence of King David was historically debated until the discovery of the Tel Dan Stele in 1993, which mentions the House of David. While the grandeur of David and Solomon's reigns as described in the Bible is not fully verified archaeologically, their historicity is generally accepted. Maccabean Revolt. The Jewish rebellion against the Seleucid Empire, led by the Maccabees and described in the books of Maccabees, part of the Apocrypha, is well documented historically and celebrated in the Jewish festival of Hanukkah. The revolt is also confirmed by external historical sources. Archaeological discoveries have, time and again, provided fascinating insights into biblical accounts. While not every find is definitive, many align closely with the narratives found in the Bible. Take, for instance, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Discovered in the 20th century, these ancient texts contain portions of the Hebrew Bible and offer a glimpse into Jewish practices and beliefs during the Second Temple period. Then there's Jericho. Archaeological evidence from this ancient city aligns in some ways with the biblical story of its destruction by Joshua. However, the exact timeline remains a subject of ongoing debate. Cities like Hazor, Megiddo, and Gezer are mentioned in the Bible as having been fortified by Solomon, according to 1 Kings 9:15. Excavations have indeed shown evidence of construction from that period, though attributing the work specifically to Solomon is still debated. And let's not forget the Pool of Siloam, mentioned in the New Testament in the Gospel of John as the site where Jesus healed a blind man. It was excavated in Jerusalem in 2004, confirming its historical existence. Many cities mentioned in the Bible have been identified and excavated, shedding light on the ancient world described in biblical narratives. Jerusalem, for example, is central to the Bible and boasts a rich archaeological record. This includes evidence from the time of the kings of Israel, the Second Temple period, and even Roman occupation. Nazareth, the town where Jesus grew up, is a small village in Galilee. Archaeological excavations there have provided valuable insights into what life would have been like in the 1st century CE. Capernaum is another significant location in Jesus' ministry. Archaeological findings in Capernaum include a synagogue and the remains of houses from that time, offering a tangible connection to these biblical stories. Several ancient historians, philosophers, and writers have mentioned events and people that appear in the Bible. Josephus, a Jewish historian from the 1st century AD, provides valuable historical context for the New Testament. His writings detail figures such as Herod the Great, Pontius Pilate, the Jewish revolts, and the destruction of the temple. Roman historians Tacitus and Suetonius also make reference to early Christians and the execution of Jesus under Pontius Pilate, adding another layer of historical corroboration. The Talmud, a collection of Jewish rabbinical writings compiled in the centuries following the destruction of the Second Temple, references figures like Jesus and other New Testament characters. Although these references are often critical or polemical, they nonetheless provide historical context. While not every biblical event is confirmed by external sources, there are numerous intersections between the Bible and history. These intersections occur through known historical figures, archaeological evidence, and written records that corroborate or provide context for biblical narratives. Some stories in the Bible remain subjects of debate or are seen as theological rather than historical accounts, but many aspects of the Bible align with the broader historical and archaeological record. So as we explore these connections, we gain a deeper understanding of the world in which these ancient texts were written and the enduring impact they continue to have today.